Joining me now, XFL head of officiating, Dean Blandino. The league announced its rules, and they're really pretty wild. Here's Dean explaining just one of the rules, and I think you're going to like it.
This is the XFL point after touchdown. This is about raising the stakes and stepping up the strategy. In the XFL, the scoring team has 3 different point after touchdown options, and none of them involve a kicker. The first option is an offensive play from the 2-yard line worth 1 point. The second is a play from the 5-yard line worth 2 points. And the third is an aggressive play from the 10 that earns 3 points. The scoring team's offense only gets one chance to convert whatever option they choose. And if they fail to convert, they get nothing. And the defense can score too. If they get a turnover and return it to the opposite end zone, they get the same amount of points the offense was attempting.
That's 3, baby, that's 3!
So now there are more chances for teams to come back, and no lead is ever really safe. This is for the love of football. This is the XFL.
It really sounds so fun. So Dean's here, but before we get too carried away, Dean, it's not going to be a football that we don't recognize.
There are some really cool different rules that you're going to see, but this is based in recognizable football, NFL rules, football we're used to seeing, football that we love, and that's what I'm excited about. But like you saw in the video, we're going to have a little bit different. The extra point, now you can go for 1, you can go for 2, you can also go for 3. So that 9-point game, that's no longer a 2-score game. So comebacks are gonna happen, and we're going to get more exciting finishes. So we're excited about that.
So that's what the rules affects the scoring itself. Is there anything else that affects the actual scoring, touchdowns or anything?
No. So touchdowns are worth 6 points.
Okay.
The only difference, and we'll get into it, overtime's going to look a little bit different, but from a scoring perspective, it's just the extra point, that 3-point play. That's the biggest difference.
Okay, so overtime. Right now, we're all still confused over the NFL overtime rules. So let's get into the XFL overtime rules. What does it look like?
So XFL overtime is going to be every play. You've got 5 plays for each offense from the 5-yard line, and it's like a hockey shootout where each team is going to get one chance from the 5. They'll alternate attempts, and then at the end of 5, whoever has the most points wins. If it's tied after that, we go 1-1-1-1 until we get a winner. So every play is either going to be a score or a stop. So we think it's going to be a lot of fun.
5 plays from the 5-yard line. Now, does it get the 1, 2, 3 different types of scoring with it?
No.
Or,
in overtime, if you score, it's going to be worth 2 points.
Okay, it's just 2 points.
And 2 points, and they'll alternate. And at the end of 5, whoever has the most wins. And like I said, if it's tied after that, we keep going.
That's kind of fun. That sounds like a good backyard game, actually,
right?
to me. That sounds like such a fun game. That's a fun thing to do. Okay, the passing. You can pass more than once.
Double forward pass. This is different, and we haven't seen this in other football. So normally you can only throw 1 forward pass from behind the line of scrimmage. In the XFL, you're going to be able to throw 2. They both have to be behind the line, but this is going to add to the creativity. This is going to give coaches another weapon that we haven't seen before, and where normally you have to throw a backward pass before you throw another forward pass. Now, you can throw that forward pass, and as long as it's behind the line, now the defense has to be ready, because that player who caught that first pass, he could throw another one.
You think of like Drew Brees maybe throws it to Taysom Hill, and then Taysom Hill throws it down. I mean, if you just want to attach names and scenario.
The Patriots have done this, right, with whether it's Danny Amendola or Julian Edelman.
Right.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna add to the creativity.
Oh, these are such fun little changes, right? Because I don't think people get the game's not going to confuse them. These are just little bits of changes. I think that'll be
just
fun.
to make it more exciting.
And one more?
Yeah, and so the other one, like we talked about overtime, we talked about double forward pass. The kickoff is going to look a little bit different than what we're used to, and a lot of study and a lot of science went into this. So the kickoff, we're going to have the kicker back at the 25-yard line, and then the rest of the kicking team, all 10 kicking team players, will be at the return team's 35. The return team will be at the 30, so there'll be a 5-yard distance between them, and then the returner back deep, and they can't leave their restraining line until the ball is either touched or if it hits the ground after 3 seconds. And what this does, it eliminates that run-up and those high-speed collisions for player safety reasons, and it makes it look and feel more just like a regular play from scrimmage. And so I think this is going to promote returns, and it's also going to be a safe play.
More like a regular play, but the ball comes in from...
The ball comes in from deep, yeah.
From deep. And all of this stuff has been tried out. The XFL has been sort of practicing these things now for
This has gone on for over a year. When we talk about these rules changes, and a lot of science, a lot of study, they looked at other leagues. Okay, what is the NFL doing? What is college doing? What is the Canadian Football League, Arena League? And then they've tested it with whether it was junior college players or different spring leagues that are going on. We tested these rules. And we saw them in live action, and if we didn't like something, we had a halo rule on punts. We got rid of it because it just wasn't working. It was hard to officiate. The players couldn't stop, and we don't want to have a ton of flags in this game. And so that's been part of the process, and it's been a lot of fun.
So there are things you tried, things you threw out.
Yeah.
But you mean it's still the 11-man, the quarterback?
It's just, you remember the scene from Hoosiers when Gene Hackman, he takes the team in, and he says that it's still 10 feet, and it's still 100 yards.
Okay.
Everything is going to look and feel just like the football we're used to, but we've got some exciting new rules I think people are going to like.
Okay, so you've had more of the insiders. Look, none of us have been able to see what the XFL actually looks like. Besides, we've seen a little here and there about the uniforms. What's it look like? What's that first day of football going to look like?
The first day of football is going to be really exciting, and it looks like, I keep saying, it looks like football you're used to. And I think that opening kickoff, because we've seen, whether it's NFL or college, everybody's pumped up, everybody's ready to go. And what happens on that opening kickoff? A touchback, right? And it's kind of everybody just lets down.
That's true.
And that tends to happen. Now we're gonna see a return. We're gonna see something really exciting. And again, I think these players, when you talk to these players, we've talked about for the love of the game. It's no more evident than with these players. This is something they love. They want to be here. It's not for money. It's not for pride. It's because they love the game. And when you talk to these guys, it's unbelievable.
Of course, though, everyone wants to know, because it's Vince McMahon involved in this. Is there a WWE-like element that goes into this league?
No. And that was very important to Vince. It was very important. Oliver Luck is our commissioner.
Andrew Luck's dad.
Andrew Luck's dad,
the quarterback who retired from the Colts,
Yeah, and so it was very important when Oliver signed on, and Oliver reached out to me. It was very important to him and very important to Vince that we are going to play football. There's not going to be, this not gimmicks. This isn't entertainment, sports entertainment. This is a game. This is serious, and Vince has been very adamant about that throughout. So I think people are going to like what they see.
It's just, and how long's the whole season going? And what can we expect? And is there a Super Bowl after the XFL?
We're gonna start the weekend after the Super Bowl. Right. So our opening games will be February 8th, and it'll be a 10-week regular season. And then we have the East and the West. 2 teams from the East will make the playoffs. 2 teams from the West will make the playoffs. They'll play a semifinal round, and then we'll have a championship game at the end of April. And TBD where that's going to take place.
Where is it?
We don't know. We don't know yet. I can't announce that yet. But it'll be somewhere fun. And yeah, so 10 weeks. 2 playoff weeks, and it's going to be, you're going to see football after the Super Bowl.
How's the Wildcats look? The LA Wildcats.
The LA Wildcats. You're going to have to tune in.
Come on,
opening game. They look good. They look good.
Don't cheap out on you. Got to tune in.
I'm officiating. I can't be biased.
Okay, you got a good point.
They all look good.
All right, Dean, I'll give it to you this time. They all look good. And some of these players, do they play in the NFL?
Yeah, so the Wildcats, their quarterback is Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson played in the NFL. You look at their coaching staff. Winston Moss, head coach, played in the NFL, coached in the NFL. Right. Norm Chow, offensive coordinator. We should know him in L.A. from UCLA and USC.
Right.
Pepper Johnson, defensive coordinator, won Super Bowls as a player and a coach with New England. I think fans are going to get a good team here in LA.
Yeah, we had Pepper in talking about it. He was a lot of fun when he was talking about it. All right, Dean, thanks. What's the one thing you're looking forward to seeing the most once this starts?
I'm looking forward to people not talking about the officiating. That's it. Like quiet. Everybody's focusing on the games, not the calls. I'll be very happy come April.
The chances of that happening, I don't know. Everyone loves to blame the official.
I know.
Blame the
ref.
ref.
Blame me.
All right, Dean Blandino, thanks very much.
Thanks, Liz.